Alright, back at it again. We're on Make Your Own Game video number 3. Jumped up at 1 minute and 20 second mark, and let's get back at this shit, because
Great thing about using the creator in part 1 to get us started in this series is that creator set us up with all the world and character settings done and ready to go for us. We could literally release this game
3, right?
and never touch a single world or character setting. It's that thorough. But if we wanted to customize the settings, let's talk about how we would do that. To find the world settings, we need to go up into the menu editor. So in the upper left, click on the menu editor button.
Boom.
Buildbox takes us up into the menu editor where all our user interfaces and worlds live in the game mind map. Select the world we have been
Love that name,
mind to map. Reveal the settings for that world in the options panel to the right. You can set different settings for different worlds in the same game, but we only have one in Glitch for now, so let's go through what these do.
0, 0.
So the first setting we see in the world settings is the name of the world. And you might be thinking that is not an important setting, and you might be right, but our game as it is right now is very simple. What if our game looked like this?
Damn.
Worlds as you create them.
That's fucking crazy. That's a crazy world.
We're looking for in a game's mind map. Only your imagination is your limit once you learn this software. So making a game that complex is only a matter of you getting there. So name your worlds accordingly.
Wonder if there's an easy way to line
help to get into that
up.
Good habit. The next setting is gravity.
Maybe
fairly self-explanatory. Gravity, of course, affects the weight of the objects in this world. The first box is the x-axis gravity, and the second is the y-axis gravity. That setting structure should now be familiar to you after going into detail on the object settings in part 2. Hey, there's a familiar graphic. So X gravity here and Y gravity here. So let's set our gravity to -20 along the Y-axis and put something in our world to see how that changes things. We'll double click on our world to go to where our scenes live. Let's go to this last scene here with our spiky enemy and select the scene by clicking on it. Then we'll hit D to duplicate it and S to solo it for testing. Now let's click on our fixed enemy here and delete it, and also the one with the live spawner component and delete that.
Wait,
now
what?
Let's drag in a platform.
Oh, there's a spawner component. I'm gonna delete these guys as well. And I think that's it. Lock that platform down. Ooh, I had the character accidentally in front of these platforms. Oh well, now it's locked. But I had it like this. I think that would cause an issue, right? No, guess not. Okay, so let's just keep going.
And resize it to half scale. Let's also change the preset to be a physics object so that the world settings affect its behavior. Use W to duplicate it. And let's have a look at what our y-axis gravity does to our physics objects. Whoa, coming in hot like a ton of bricks. Let's change the y gravity to +2 and have a look. See how they keep up with the character fairly
That's
well?
cool.
That's because they are falling up. If we set that +2 much higher, we would never see them in the game. Y gravity +2 and have a look.
Okay, world map.
See how they keep up with the character fairly well? That's because they are falling up. If we set that +2 much higher, we would never see them in the game because they would fall up faster than the speed of the game and we would never get to them. Let's put -0.5 in the x-axis gravity and see their behavior. As you can see, they are falling to the left into the negative direction of the x-axis. So gravity is fairly simple, and it doesn't take a lot to get a reaction out of things. That last setting was 0.5. Let's go ahead and reset our gravity to 0, 0 and have a look at time warp. Right now, we have it set to 50, which is a fairly good setting to start with. Our game seems to run at a fair pace for the beginner. But let's see what setting time warp to 100 does.
What is time warp?
I see a turbo mode in Glitch's future. We'll keep this in mind for down the road. This is something we will definitely...
So wait, time mode makes it go fast or something? Oh shit. Look, yeah, it makes everything go fast. You know what I want to see today? Okay. Yeah, makes everything go fast, I guess.
Visit later.
Everything in the
For
world.
now, let's set that time warp back to 50 so we don't scare off the new user. The next setting is friction. Friction increases or decreases the friction between all objects. So, if there was something your character was supposed to push along a platform, say, this would be the setting to play with. Let's set that to 550 and set some of our platforms against the wall. Remember, you can use Shift to drag in a straight line and the mouse scroll button to zoom in and out. We could turn on debug mode if that makes it easier to see where the collision shapes are. And use W to duplicate a few more up the wall. Now let's see what that 550 friction setting does. See how this platform here has stopped me dead? That's the friction between the wall and the platform. Being too high will harden the character there. So let's change that back to 50, but keep in mind that there's creative ways that you could use that friction setting.
That's cool.
Alright, so velocity drag is next. Velocity drag places a force on moving objects, causing them to slow down. So, in other words, it's mud or momentum. Let's put a 3 in that setting and see what that does to our physics
Mud
objects.
for momentum?
See how their momentum is affected like they're moving through mud? Let's change that back to 0. Alright, so bounce will change the bounce force between all objects in the game. Let's put 250 in there and see how that looks. Wow, I'm literally bouncing off the walls here. Yeah, look at that. That's obviously too much. Let's change that back to 0. Score more.
I need to catch up. The bounce thing. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Everything's got a bounce. Okay. Look at that. Oh, that's a reminder to save. Don't want to fucking lose everything, because that will happen.
Is used in distance-based scoring and allows you to increase or decrease the points earned as the character progresses through the game. I'll show you that later when we design our user interface.
Yeah.
Game direction changes the direction the game is played in.
That seems cool.
And finally, camera smooth is a more advanced feature that adjusts how jittery the camera gets during certain mechanics. So best to just leave that alone for now.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
The object deletion threshold is a setting measured in pixels. For example, once an object reaches 1,000 pixels behind the game direction, it is deleted from the device's memory. So this is handy for optimizing performance on a mobile device. And then forced movement here, which is the setting that makes our game scroll or be able to stand still like a platformer.
Okay.
Alright, that's the tour of the world settings. Now let's double click on that world and get into character settings. Okay, so you're already familiar with the animation settings as we covered those in part 1. And we have sound settings here, which are drag and drop. Buildbox will accept MP3s. Just drag an MP3 into those settings. There are settings for lighting and tilting your character when it moves. And we have game over effects, which we're going to cover in another video.
What is that?
There are options for how this character is available to the user, and then that brings us to the gameplay settings. Max speed is just that, the maximum speed allowed for the character's movement. So if we use an action to increase our character's speed for a short time, it won't exceed what you put in here, and that first box is X, and that second box is Y. Bounce force is just like the bounce setting we saw in the world settings, but it is just for the character. So if we wanted to make a game like Trace Smith's Phases, this is the setting to make that happen. Again, settings for X and Y. Jump force would be how powerful we want our jump to be. So if we had a game like a platformer, we would use this in conjunction with gravity to get the effect we want, or the jump we want to have. And again, this is for X and Y. Jump timeout is used to vary your jump, so a higher value gives the player the option to hold the jump button down longer or a bigger jump.
So it's like time,
and
2
jump
seconds?
Counter is how many jumps can be executed before hitting the ground. So if you wanted to do a double jump, you would put a 2 in here. Ground threshold is a setting used to detect when the player is on the ground and able to jump. And checking or unchecking jump from ground allows the player to jump in midair. Left lean force and right lean force will lean or rotate the character when moved in that direction. And platform friction is the force that brings the character to a stop on a platform. So a low number would give you this icy slide effect on platform. Rotation drag is just like velocity drag, but it's...
I don't know what that means. Icy slide effect. Like, I can imagine what an icy slide effect looks like. Which one was that? Jump? There's platform friction. So, like, jumps and then slides. Why would... I don't know.
Mud for rotation of the character. And air drag is also similar to velocity drag or rotation drag. Rotation drag is just like velocity drag, but it's mud for rotation of the character. And air drag is also similar to velocity drag or rotation drag, but it's mud for your character's momentum in the air. And again, X and Y settings here.
Okay.
Direct movement allows moving the character around the screen by directional controls. Forced movement is a setting that moves...
Oh wait, directional controls. This I was curious about, because I'm thinking maybe that means like left, right, up, down. I wanted to make a game something similar to like Spy Hunter, but not like Line of Zen where you control, but more like you swipe. Because I like the swipe. So maybe that's used, the directional movement. So I'll definitely look that up. Oh, maybe I could just try it. Oh, yeah, let's just try it. Yes, yes. I'm hitting the keys left and right. Oh, up and down. Oh, but I wonder, yes, I mean, this is just a jump. But also, oh. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I feel like up. Oh, this is so this is me moving the screen. Did I do directional movement for like the game? I thought it was the player. Directional movement check. Character. What if I don't do that? If I just hit this. So it's me hitting left and right, but no up and down. Oh wait, down, up, down. Okay, so whatever I was doing before, just ignore that. Let's just keep watching the video.
The character with the game, and the last two here are really simple. Fixed rotation means the player will not rotate no matter what happens. And image direction means the graphic will point in the direction of movement. So a lot of options here to get your character to behave as you see fit. Now, there are also components you can add to a character, just like we added object components to our swirly Deathbringer in part 2, but we are going to cover character components in another video. Alright, so that wraps up world and character settings and gives you the info you need to customize gameplay. Speaking of gameplay, we need to make more game to play, so let's create more scenes in our game. We'll build the first one together, and then you can kick back and watch me build more until we hit 10.
I'm gonna build more too.
Now,
Ain't no
let's
time
start
for
by
kicking back.
removing the physics objects in scene 2. You can select them and delete them in the scene, or you can select them in the scene tree. Now, there are two ways to get items into our scene. One way is to drag them from the Assets panel into the scene. But one thing to keep in mind, when you drag from the Assets panel, you need to set up the item to behave how you want, like we did in part 2 with our swirly death guy. So another way is to copy and paste items you have already set up. Remember how we copied and pasted our little bad guy and made one of them just an overlay for the spawner? Well, we can copy and paste from one scene into another scene.
Ooh.
Let's go to our start scene and copy one of the mountain enemies and go back to scene 2 and click on the scene editor so it has focus and paste our enemy in. Notice how it pasted behind the wall? I think the game would look better if we had all the mountains in front of the wall. So let's
I actually did not notice that, but definitely see it now. Platform. Enemy up. But then I gotta make this guy bigger or something. Yeah, there we go.
it in the scene. Remember, items at the top appear in front of items at the bottom. And so that it's easier to figure out what we are.
Shit. My internet is slow. Damn it. Is it 1330? I think they totally cut my internet speed down because I was talking shit on the Twitter. I'm gonna go with my phone. Hotspot this bitch. Oh wait, I am hotspotting my other work computer. I better turn that off.
Wall. So let's reorder it in the scene. Remember, items at the top appear in front of items at the bottom. And so that it's easier to figure out what we are looking at in the scene tree as we design levels, let's rename our platform to wall. Okay, let's go ahead and resize this so it's substantial in the scene. Remember when I said we were going to use negative scale? Let's flip the scale on the... Okay, let's go ahead and resize this so it's substantial in the scene. Remember when I said we were going to use negative scale? Let's flip the scale on the x-axis and note what it does. See how it flipped the image? I'd like to get all the shadows on our mountains to be underneath. So all the mountain enemies along that left wall will have to flip the x-axis on them, or we can just copy and paste from this one now. Looking at this in debug mode, we may need to adjust the collision shape later, but we'll build out the levels and just see how that goes first. Okay, so for this level we are building together, let's drag in a new enemy. I'm just going to grab the entire PNG sequence and drop it on the object option in the drag and drop wheel, and boom, new bad guy.
Enemy.
Let's select it in the assets panel and adjust its collision shape before we forget.
Yeah.
See how those spikes could be one circle and the body another? Let's split the difference for the leeway we discussed in part 2. Okay, let's rotate him just a bit and set this enemy up with the enemy preset. And let's give this guy some movement, say 5, across the board, all random. Alright, so let's preview the selected scene to test this out. Looks like we just built our first scene for Glitch, Kickback, and I'll make some more for us.
Wait. What did you do? Did you do anything?
And let's give this guy some movement, say 5, across the board, all random.
Change the linear velocity,
Alright, so
velocity and angular velocity 555. I can do that. And I like to do that like here. And then maybe just throw that bad boy over here. U2, X, Y. Let's just make this one an X. Go. Oh, okay, so it's like random. See, but it's gone. Where? Oh, there he is. But where was he last time? He's not there this time. Like every other. All right.
Do the selected scene to test this out. Looks like we just built our first scene for Glitch, Kickback, and I'll make some more for us.
All right, I'm gonna make some more too.
First thing you're gonna see and notice is that I don't think I pull anything from the assets panel. I'm doing all copy and paste. It is a much more rapid way to design your levels. You'll also notice that I do a lot of testing. I'm soloing the scene or using preview selected scene as I go so I can play them and see if what I've done works.
Yeah, I see that. You see that? Yeah, you see that. I see that.
You'll also notice a lot of changes in the layering in the mountain-looking enemies because I'm trying to make sure that those shadows look appropriate with each other. Some of them look better on top and some of them look better below, so a lot of layering and seeing what works. And also keep in mind, you're not always going to get it right. So testing your game is going to be very important because some of the scenes that you've made just might.
So that was work, cause I'm at work. But this is not my work. Just to okay.
Not work. And also keep in mind if you randomize your scenes in a game,
Ooh, those are cool.
Has to work with all the other scenes. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're creating random levels for a game like this. All right, let's play it and see how it.
All right, now it's my turn. How do I oh, S? Yeah, S, okay. Duplicate. Scene 3. Actually, let's make some shit about scene 2. Okay, 10. I don't know. Sure. here, copy that. We go like this. Oh, but dark side on the negative, like that. Cool, let's do this. Then up, make it smaller. Up. Bring to the front, bring to the back. Oh, no, I can't test that. Cool, okay, scene 1. Scene 2, I saw he had an example. It was like this, but they were smaller, and then there was a bunch of them. So let's do that. Dun, 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 getting it. Oh, maybe bigger. That is a work email. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Right, I'm back. Okay, yeah. Let's do this. So like here you can see this and send back. Yeah, huge difference. You look weird sent to your back. Still looking to your back. So if you're in the back, you want to be more in the front. Okay, that's cool. I wish I could just select the whole thing and like kind of shift. No, it's okay. Like I wanna select all of it and copy. Um, okay, let's do some more. Be right back. Uh-huh. Going to negative. Oh, nope. Negative. Nope. Rotation? Was that the negative one? No. I'm trying to get the blackness of the shape on the bottom. No. This one. Yeah. Okay. How do I spacebar? That looks kind of cool. I like it. Okay, let's do another one. I guess it just copies. Spacebar. Let's go ahead and delete these. I'm gonna, yeah, okay, platform is, okay, cool. I really like this idea. Let's try to fuck with that some more. So I want to make sure that it doesn't look weird. Or, you know, I could just have it maybe like, let's do the other side. Switch it up. So this can be here. Or you know what, with the negative rotation. Nope, that's not it. There we go. That just delete. Okay, so yeah. I gotta say, when Heath does it, he does it a lot faster than me. But I wonder how many games he's made, because this is my number one. Unless you count the isometric demo that I did, which I don't because that's not like a game. What? Oh, S. What? What? Oh, because S is down. Yeah, that's creepy for sure. that up here. I think this one's very traditional, so let's move this copy over here. I don't think it matters where to. Well, no, 5, 4, 4, 5. Kind of just want you to be bigger. Oh yeah, and to the front. You two, actually, now that I'm aware, bring these to the front as well. Get bigger. That's what she said. Did I already copy this? I don't know. Come on. Ooh, look at that bad motherfucker. This one's kind of weak. You're weak? I'm gonna add a little bit more depth to it. Yeah, there we go. Angle that. Nope, not you. There we go. Just so it's not like a classic, you know, up and down type of deal. I wonder if I can move this one to the back. Ah, I like it in the front. Yeah, this is too small. I kind of like that. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Cool. I like that one. I like that one. I like that one. I think this is my favorite because these spikes just look badass. This is good too. Let's maybe make this one bigger. Move it up. Put this bad boy here. Let's do another one. What's the one I like? Yeah. Make that number 6. Can't move number 6 to the right of 5. Move 5 to the left of 6. Okay, so step 1. Shit, what did I do? Oh, I hit the page down button. Oh, okay, so these are cool. I wonder, yeah, let's try that kind of idea. See, it'd be nice if you could just select all of them or even just delete them from the screen. Alright, let's do this. You know, I'm just going to delete these because I just want this one mainly and then like rotate it. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. Maybe put that shit up here too. Delete these. Okay, so I wish I could. I guess I should stop saying the things I wish because they don't. That shit ain't how it is. Bring to the front. Right. Send to the back. Send backwards. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Let's do another one of these. Rotate it like this. You know what I'm curious on? Like, what does the debug look like? Cool. I think that's good. I kind of want to bring these down. Oh yeah, and then let's mess with the shadows. You're good. You are not good. I think it's here. Yep. Yeah, you're fine over there. Space bar. You're good. You're not good. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Easy. Easy. Cool. 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 All right. Let's continue. I think he made like 10, but 6 is good, right? Yeah, it's great.
Turning out. Keep in mind that having random velocities on enemies doesn't always work. Sometimes you want to make sure your enemies go in a specific direction to create difficulty for your player. If your enemies are always running away from
I forgot that these guys. Oh
that
shit!
is no fun. So sometimes you'll want to take those random numbers and put in very specific directions. One of the things you have to keep in mind when you play is always questioning whether it's too hard or too easy.
That's cool.
Alright, glitch is shaping up quite nicely. Now in the next video, we're going to make our game unique. We're going to take a look at adding a new gameplay element, and we'll learn about character components. So come on back for that one, and I'll see you in part 4.
Good job, everybody.